So far, with all the different art they've shown, the new frames coming, the the Shadow's infested counterpart, the domestic Doomstick infested drone, people might now start to understand why I'm calling the domestic drone a Doomstick drone. First off, it's Doomstick, but never mind. Tennocon Live 2020 is about to start, and Tennocon 2020 has been tons of fun, but I thought I would start this by kind of showing what happens on the relay when this thing starts. Instant skin. It was actually instant. I was kind of hoping that we would have something, like a big display pops up that started streaming the actual Tennolive. Because there are displays in here and they have done it before, and since most of it is pre-recorded anyway, they could have done that. But, hey, time to get into what happened in Tennolive 2020. So, we'll start with the skin. It is just a staff skin, can go on to any staff, so I guess we'll have to put that on. I really wanted to go to the other one, which, according to this, I got both at the same time, even though we saw that drop way before that time says it dropped. The other thing, if you were in there for an hour, you would have got... Oh, what is that? Due to the size of this, really there's only one place this is ever going to go. If I can fit this thing in back there and then turn it around, try and wedge it, just kind of, it's not going to work. Mainly because now, every time I go into my arsenal, you can see it just off to the side there. The first kind of major thing that they showed was, it's been a while, it's been a long while, but finally, Hydroid Prime got his trailer. Let's be honest, asking a company to make a trailer for something that already exists, kind of pointless, isn't it? They should have just left this alone, left it as a meme, and just concentrated on creating trailers for upcoming primes or current primes, not trying to create a trailer for a prime that has been out for so long that, well, now it makes sense as to why Hydroid Prime was the gift if you watched for 30 minutes or more, though that has apparently got a huge delay behind it as well. Then they go on to Hydroid Prime's deluxe skin that looks like it's going to come with a Sentinel skin, and honestly I kind of like this, but yeah, that Sandana on the back, it's got arms, it's a coat. This is a straight up pirate just get up with the melee skin that comes with it. Then we have the new frame, the will come soon frame. It will actually come with this update, but you'll have to wait till the end of the video to find out when that is, though it's probably been everywhere because this was quite a few hours ago now. This is the user designed, not user created, frame that, well, is built up of other frames and has that very unique kind of movement to it that, honestly, from the design aspect and everything else I was seeing from this, I was not expecting that. That looked pretty good. But before we go there, anyone remember that door on the back of the ship? You know which door I mean. If you go down this side, there is a door here. This takes you to the Helminth chair that may be getting an upgrade in the upcoming update. Actually, it is getting an update, quite a big update. You're basically going to be able to go in here and, what's the best way I can put this? Take abilities off your frames and put them on other ones. I've also noticed that there's something missing from this room. I'm going to have to take a lot of things out of this room for mine because it's a huge mess, but oh, the seat at the back of the room, it's gone. Now you have Helminth. Little shot of horrors, nightmares coming on right there. Because, well, I was half expecting it to say, feed me, Seymour. But, this is Helminth. You can now feed it resources and Well, you can now feed Helminth Warframes. It will actually devour your frame. Not slightly, but you can see that, well, you can... Oh. I don't like the fact that there are ranks for this, first off. It means that, well, Helminth's going to have its own syndicate-type based thing going on, which is going to be just annoying in itself. But, well, subdue Warframe, pull the ability pull from Mag. This Warframe will be, yep, gone. You have to, of course, confirm this. This is one of those other things you never expect. But, on the whole pull side of it, once you have taken an ability off a frame, this ability will be usable forever. You don't have to devour a mag every time, but it will devour a frame. Yeah, you can see mag there, and, well, as I keep saying, this will destroy the frame, but will allow you to take the ability off that frame and put it onto another frame. They said you won't be able to use signature moves. Pull is kind of a signature move, but never mind. And you can only add one ability to a frame, meaning that you can't have a frame running around with 4 different Warframes abilities. It would just be one. And I wasn't kidding with the feeding it resources things. You could oh, you can actually see it moving around in the mouth there. Ew. Notice also the rank goes up as you feed it frames. So, getting ready for this update, you may want to kind of build frames that you want to take abilities off. Hopefully they will give us the list of this. But as you can see, Shock from Volt being put onto Excalibur kind of led us to the heart of Deimos. This, as everybody expected, is in fact the infested open world. It was, let's be honest, leaked before this came out. See, free roam. And there is lots of, I'm just going to call this spoilers that they showed for this, that I'm going to kind of try my hardest to skip over while also showing a lot of this. It's a whole new area of space. It's like an infested comet. Or, as I kindly put it on Twitter, High Chariot, anyone? That also scared me, right there. I didn't fancy Arcwing running around. No, Arcwing is just part of the landing animation, so that's it. Gone. We'll kind of also skip over a little bit more of this, simply because of what is coming towards us, and this is the introduction to it. This is the start of it. This is technically going to be part of the quest, so once he leaves, you can actually get a better view of this, and considering this whole thing was kind of done without much, let's just say, talking about, that just kind of went, this update's coming, by the way, it's coming on August 25th on all platforms. I'm really glad that it didn't launch yesterday when this actually whole thing was shown, because that's, yeah, a lot of people would love it to come all everywhere at the same time, but there was just a little bit of polishing that they said they needed to do, and I don't mind waiting 4 weeks for it. 20... was it 4 weeks? 3 and a bit weeks. It's just under 4 weeks. This, you can see in the bottom right, if you were on relays, you could go places, or it would take you to places and show you around, and this happened quite a few times during it. If you were on the relay, that's how you got that Noggle thing from earlier. The big, giant, robotic thing with a skeleton-looking something in there. You'll figure out what that is as well soon, but this whole thing really reminded me of landing on High Chariot in Halo 3. Remember that infusing ability earlier? There it is. Excalibur using Shock. That's Volt's ability. So I'm kind of looking forward to that whole taking abilities off one frame and giving it to another one, because it's going to be really useful. But there's that enemy that was going to pick things up and throw it at you. There is a lot of new infested enemies in this. Probably my favourite one of this that, well, we're going to kind of see bits of, but this isn't really spoiler worthy. This is new resource. There's a few of them on here. New enemies, tons of old enemies, and a lot of new infested landscapes. And that Lloyd guy on the side. Yeah, I was actually watching this on my phone and instantly kind of went, "Ooh, is that void worm looking thing?" If you were on the relays, this was supposed to keep happening. I have no idea if it did or not, but you can see it looks like that void worm that we were kind of shown with the Railjack stuff, that kind of hits you and then sends you off to the void open world, which for the record is still coming. Last thing I remember about that was it's coming next year, and there is a lot of Orokin side to this. You can see it's all Orokin based rooms in a lot of this. Oh, this is not really a spoiler. Oh look, it's a K-Drive with wings. Well, it's not. It's an infected thing that you can actually mount and drive around like a K-Drive for faster movement across this whole open world, because it's not just above ground. This thing goes underground as well by a long way. But I kind of like the idea of, instead of summoning a vehicle, just having random ones spawn, which happens on the plains anyway. Didn't really happen on Obvalis. There was also the question of what happens to this door. Well, it only opens when you're on operator mode, it seems, and it's just more space, more everything. This entire update it's going to be huge. I don't want to say the Heart of Deimos being the new open world is going to be the biggest of all. I know people who entirely hate the Obvalis, but that looks familiar. We saw that much earlier on. I'm assuming, actually I'm not going to jump to assumptions for this. There is tons of spoilers in this, absolutely everywhere, but you can see, look at all the writing on the wall. What is that floating around down there? Oh, there's a second giant snake. Because the other one was white. I at first thought this was the same one as well. But yeah, I'm assuming this is going to be something to do with the day and night cycle, but it's not going to last long if they're going to do this to each other every day, because that's one, there's the other, or should I say, there was the other. I still wouldn't say spoilers or anything else, because well, it's no spoiler. This is just happening in the open world things after bounties have been done. There's not the quest side of it, as they stated, has been gone, but this is kind of a better look at some of the harder enemies that may come at night or during the day. Or we'll obviously find out more in the next few weeks as to how this is going to work. But more importantly than any of this is, well, we kind of pulled something out of it earlier, and now all of a sudden it's, so we just climbed into this giant suit of armor, and there's the skeleton kind of driving it in the middle, which makes no sense if we're supposed to be in there, but go figure. Yeah, Titanfall, anyone? Do actually see, on the right, the ammo regenerates. It looks like it has its own abilities. Not really seeing a health bar anywhere, but that could be what the 50 is across the bottom, and for demonstration purposes it's just disabled. But yep, we're going to have a suit of armor to run around in. And by event, we'll have to kind of rewind that a bit, because that was about to end. When I say event, I mean what is currently going on. Completing that bounty sequence, because just like the normal open world stuff, you do have bounties to complete to gain reputation for spoilers. But yes, Warframe, Heart of Deimos, coming to all platforms on the 25th of August, which for the record is a Tuesday. Don't mind if it's delayed by a day, but a lot of the stuff that they showed is pretty much done anyway. Don't really want to say too much about the new frame. Ability-wise, that'll kind of spoil it, but this is a massive debuff. You can see the circle on the floor, and any enemy that goes in there will get a debuff. There's just something about this frame. I'm not sure if it's the visuals or the massive debuffs you can give enemies and the steel path being a thing that's a complete nightmare to try and finish. The fourth ability is what we will just call the party piece of this frame. Enemies hit by it will get massive debuffs and take damage. But you, and no, it hasn't actually shown the fourth ability yet, you will, how do I put this, move quicker and take less damage because, well, that is now you. You just threw away all of your pieces. You are now nothing more than a skeleton, and you will notice over time it kind of brings everything back. And I think that's what got me most excited about this new frame, to be honest. The visuals of it just looked really good without going too much into it, and there's a very huge touch of Nidus in this. Huge touch. But the frame, the new open world, the taking abilities off frames, all of it will be coming August 25th on all platforms. But I think we'll leave this off here for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.